Before we get started, I just want to let you know this game was provided to me by PlayStation. PlayStation VR is back on the channel, baby, with a brand new Platinum Experience review for Iron Man VR. And this is a special day because 12 years ago today, PlayStation launched the trophy system. It was on that day that I popped my first trophy just before 2 a.m. And today I'm going to review the Platinum Experience for what is my 332nd Platinum trophy. Iron Man VR is a PlayStation exclusive title only playable through PSVR with Move controllers. The game needed to do one thing right, and that was to make you believe that you are not just playing as Iron Man, but you are Iron Man, and let me tell you, they nailed it. That alone makes this game worth the price. That first moment when I saw the suit come online, and then the repulsors kicked on, which lifted me off the ground, that was incredible. It was a monumental moment where I finally felt the power of being a superhero, not just someone controlling one. It doesn't take too long to get comfortable with the basics of flight either. There's a bit of a learning curve in regards to sharp turns because of the camera controls. You can choose to move the camera freely or with instant 45-degree turns, which takes some time getting used to as the outdated Move controllers, the button placements are difficult for me to quickly reach for precise turns. While 90-degree turns may take you a while to get comfortable with, bursting in one direction and instantly turning 180 degrees and flying back in the opposite direction feels so good and natural. So good. As you continue through what I can only estimate as a fairly lengthy 8-hour campaign, you will become much more comfortable in the Iron Man suit, and it really becomes a part of you. Eventually, learning to fly, boost, and dodge with one hand, while fighting off swarms of drones with the other is such a thrilling experience that it was easy to overlook the fact that nearly every encounter was being played out the same, over and over, just in different locations. Iron Man VR nails every aspect of what it should feel like being Iron Man. As someone who can feel the motion sickness in games typically, especially after just an hour, I never had any issues with Iron Man VR. I played a few different 4-hour sessions without any issues. I'm not saying no one would experience issues, but from a technical standpoint, this was amazing. Also, I never had to calibrate, not even once. When not flying around as Iron Man, you'll be in a typical VR environment where you move to various points in your location by pointing and clicking. The main place you'll go between missions is at Stark's mansion in Malibu. This is where you can upgrade your suit using research points gained from missions. By the way, you'll need to unlock every upgrade for Platinum, but do not worry about research points. They should come naturally. I had more than enough by the end. There's also an upstairs area where you can earn 3 really fun Circus Trophies. There's a 4th one in a cave, but I'll let you discover that yourself. Circus Trophies, in case you weren't aware, is what I call the fun miscellaneous trophies that are often silly and unrelated to the story, the basketball one in this game being the most fun. There's also a globe that serves as your mission select screen. Alongside your main story missions, you'll unlock challenge missions, which allows for leaderboard score chasing replayability, and these can be quite challenging. Thankfully, you only have to get a 5-star rating on 5 missions total between the main missions and challenge ones combined. If you're short 1 or 2 after playing through, you can use mission select and replay anything. Changing the difficulties to easy will help with that task in case you need it. While the story becomes predictable, it's certainly a good enough comic book story with some really good boss encounters. I really enjoyed the design of the final boss in particular. There are Easter eggs for people who go beyond the cinematic universe, though I'm not personally familiar with any of it, but I did ask around for you guys. Not everything is great in this game, however. The checkpoint system is one of the most frustrating things, and it's really bad in a few spots. I was playing on invincible difficulty, as the game will require you to complete each main mission on the game's hardest setting for the Platinum. So I was playing on invincible, and this is unlocked from the start, and difficulty can be changed back and forth at any time. But I was playing, and there are several encounters that can be quite challenging and lengthy. After clearing it and having a brief break in the action, I started up the next wave, which is even more challenging and lengthy, but a death would reset me back 2 waves or even more. During a boss battle with Ghost, I was in a large cylinder-shaped structure, and I have to play a game of cat and mouse 9 times with what would be a logical checkpoint after every 3rd one. Fail on the 9th and final one, and it'll reset you back at the very beginning. This wasn't an issue for me on normal difficulty, so unless you're going for the Platinum, this might not bother you so much. But on Invincible, I failed more than a few times. And this only bothers me so much because it ties directly into my biggest issue with the game, the load times. The loading times in this game are unacceptable. Normally I don't get bothered by them until after I enter the post-game trophy time, but this game broke me before I reached the halfway point. The loading screen can take up to 90 seconds, and there's a loading screen into and out of the actual loading screen that is nothing but dark silence, usually for 10 to 20 seconds. Everything is a loading screen too. When you die, there's a 5-second loading screen that asks you if you want to restart the checkpoint, followed by another minute of loading. That's why the combination of some of the terrible checkpoints on the hardest difficulty with the god-awful load times frustrated me to no end. Now I want to make it clear that I don't believe that the campaign is too difficult on Invincible difficulty. In fact, I give this a 7 out of 10 Platinum difficulty score. There are just times that you'll get caught in something because sometimes you'll fly blindly into something while dodging that gets you stuck into the environment, or you get hit by an enemy from anywhere within 3-dimensional space that quickly turns into your demise. It happens, and I enjoyed that challenge until my patience itself started becoming challenged while sitting in silence for the next checkpoint to reload. This is why Iron Man VR is going to be best enjoyed as a casual gamer looking for a really fun experience. It certainly delivers on that. The more you can eliminate the amount of loading screens, the better off you'll feel, which is why it's a shame I didn't enjoy the post-game trophy phase, even though this has some really great trophies in it. The trophy list is great, really, really good. You can start the game on any difficulty, whichever difficulty you feel comfortable with. Now you may be tempted to start on hard, and if so, you can always lower it until you start to master the controls, or vice versa. I played the entire game on normal difficulty first, and then I changed it to hard in the gameplay menu and used mission select just for the required main missions. You won't have to redo the prologue or epilogue if you go through chapter select. Just use the missions, do the missions that track your difficulty. Every mission rates you out of 5 stars, and thankfully the Platinum only requires you to complete 5 missions with the highest rating. It doesn't matter if it's a story mission or a challenge mission. Frankly, I didn't even worry about it. It happened naturally, but try switching to easy difficulty if you're still struggling. You earn tokens based on your ratings that are then used to unlock new weapons. Now I had more than enough, even though I only got 1 star on most of the challenges, especially the flight ones. I wasn't very good at those. New suit variants unlocked by completing skill-based challenges that all happen naturally for me as well. There isn't a deep progression system in place in the game, and I think that's best because your progression is going to come from learning how to fly the suit itself. It's easy to fly, but difficult to master. If you take away my 2 complaints about the game, the checkpoints and loading, the game is amazing and reminds me that maybe I should play more VR. However, this isn't a game I would recommend exclusively for the purposes of trophy hunting. There's a chance that this could be a different experience on the PS5 if that helped eliminate the loading. If load times were eliminated, I probably wouldn't have even cared about the checkpoints and would have walked away feeling completely different, because much of the trophy hunting experience is going to require you to sit through twice as many loading screens as the average person playing the game. I'm going to have to give this the final verdict of gold. Even though the game is immensely fun and quite immersive, the really well-constructed trophy list will start to feel like a chore every second you're sitting there in darkness. But other than that, I really do recommend the game. The game itself is fantastic. Check it out. I'll see you guys soon.